Hello and welcome to the Sunbird Crochet Podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm going to show you my newest design, the Fern Collector Cowl. We're going to make this together. You're going to need, obviously, a pattern. This is a free pattern. I've uploaded it to Ravelry and to the Mighty Networks group of a crochet clan. And for today, I'm using the US terms, but it's also available as UK terms or in UK terms. You're also going to need some wool. Any type of wool would work above heavy 4-ply sport weight yarn. The heavier weight you're going to choose, the bigger the cowl is going to be. I am using Shetland Jäger. This is 80% new wool and 20% alpaca. And it's made in the UK, Hand Knitting Darlington UK, and in Germany in Saarlach. So it's like a combination. The important thing is that this is 100 gram equals about 166 meters. Now the pattern was made with John Arvin Textiles Yarnadelic, which is 100 grams equals 333 meters, which gives the cowl a lovely drape. Obviously this yarn is almost double the weight, so I'm still going to use the recommended hook size, which is 6 millimeters. We're going to see how this works out. If it's going to be stiff or not drapey enough, then I'm going to go up a hook size. I am a loose crocheter, my gauge is very loose. If you are a tight crocheter, then always go up one hook size, like you probably would use a 7 millimeter hook. So we are going to start with a long tail cast on method or crochet cast on method, which is copyrighted, so I can't show you, but you could also use a chainless foundation base. So I'm just going to do the long tail cast on method and then we're going to continue together. You're going to need a multiple of 9 stitches, and for this cowl I'm going to cast on 117 stitches. And we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch. Okay, so it's joined. So our chain is joined and we're now going to make 117 double crochets. Chain 2, which doesn't count as a stitch, and then make a double crochet into each of the stitches. 1, 2. So here I am, I've just finished the first round and I'm going to slip stitch into my first stitch made, not into the chain. So here in the top of my first stitch, there. For round 2, chain 2 and make 3 back post double crochets. So this is the stitch where we slip stitched into, and this is also my first stitch. One, 2, 3, 3. Now we're going to start the pattern repeat of 3 front post double crochets followed by 6 back post double crochets. So 3 front post double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and now 6 back post double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is our repeat: 3 front post double crochets, 6 back post double crochets. Continue this pattern repeat all around, and since we start with the round with 3 back post double crochets, you're going to end the round also with 3 back post double crochets so that you have 6 in total. I'm going to see you right at the end of round number 2. I've just finished round number 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into my first stitch made, not into the chain 2. Round closed. For round 3, we are going to chain 2, back post 2 stitches, back post double crochet, 1, 2, and now we're going to make front post double crochets. This is the beginning of the repeat, the pattern repeat. So we're going to make 5 front post double crochets and then 4 back post double crochets, which equals to a pattern repeat of 9 stitches. So we're making on either side here 1 double crochet front post, one front post double crochet on either side of the 3 we made in round 2, and we're going to make 1 back post double crochet less here. So we are making more front post double crochets, less back post double crochets. So again, after the first 2 back post double crochets, make 5 front post double crochets, 4 back post double crochets. That's the pattern repeat: 5 front post double crochets, 4 back post double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4. The sun is coming around. I hope the shadows don't trouble too much. And 5. And now 4 back post double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the back post stitches are pulling the top of your previous rounds to the front. They look like ridges. And with the front post stitches, you get a different texture which goes in this direction. So this direction, that direction. Continue making the 5 front post double crochets and 4 back post double crochets all around, and finish not with 4 back post but with only 2, because we started the round with 2 back post stitches. Here I am at the end of round number 3, and I'm going to slip stitch join in my first stitch, not in the chain 2 but in the first stitch I've made. Round number 4. Chain 2, 1 back post double crochet around the first stitch. Then starts the pattern repeat. 7 front post double crochets and 2 back post double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 back post double crochets, which equals to a pattern repeat of 9 stitches. 7 front post double crochets and 2 back post double crochets. And we're going to do that all around, and this is round number 4. This is the end of round number 4. I've made all my stitches, and now I'm going to slip stitch into my first stitch. And now round number 5, chain 2, and round number 5 is going to be different, because we're now going to make our first round with popcorn stitches. We're going to skip the first stitch, and then we're going to make 3 front post double crochets, then a popcorn between this stitch we've just made and the next stitch, and then we are going to skip 1 stitch. We're making another popcorn between the skipped stitch and the next stitch, and then we're going to front post double crochet 3 times, and then we're going to skip 1 stitch and repeat the pattern repeat. 3, we skip 1 stitch. We're doing the 3 front post double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to make a popcorn. The popcorn is made out of 5 double crochet stitches. So yarn over, go into this chain space or the space between the posts, make 1 double crochet, repeat that so that you have 5 double crochets, 3, 4 and 5. Now pull up your loop a little so that it doesn't unravel. Count back your 5 stitches made, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go with your hook front to back through the stitch. Take your pulled up loop onto the hook, pull it tight again, and now pull this through your first stitch and make a chain 1 to close the stitch. So this is your first popcorn, and the closing chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to skip the next stitch and we're going to make another popcorn in this space between the stitches. So make here 5 double crochets into this space. Pull up the loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go through the stitch front to back, put your loop back on the hook, pull it tight, pull the loop through the first stitch, chain 1 to close. This is your second popcorn. So we've made the second popcorn stitch. Now we have the 3 front post stitches. We're going to work a front post stitch into each of these. 1, 2, and 3. And next we're going to skip the back post stitch again. That's the pattern repeat. So we are skipping all the back post stitches. We're only working into the front post stitches. And we're going to make 3 front post stitches, then 2 popcorns here and there on either side of the middle stitch, and then another 3 front post stitches. Skip the back post stitches and continue in this pattern repeat all around your cowl. I'm going to see you at the end of this round. I'm now at the end of round 5, and I'm going to join my yarn not in the chain 2 but in my first stitch made, which is the first front post stitch. And here I'm going to take a break. I'm going to return back. I think we have to change the settings. The sun and the shadows are a little bit distracting me. So I'll see you again for round number 6. Welcome back. I changed the filming set, so to say. So we stopped working after row 5. We've made our first round with popcorns and 6 front post double crochets in between. And for round 6, we're going to start with the chain 2. And now we're going to make 3 front post double crochets, then a popcorn, a chain 1 and a popcorn in the space in between these 2 popcorns. And then again 3 front post double crochets. So we are double crocheting into the double crochets, and we are making a popcorn, a chain 1 and another popcorn into that chain space. That is round number 6. So let's do that. One, 2, 3. Now we're going to skip that popcorn. We're going to make a popcorn in the space in between. So 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Pull up the loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go with your hook through that stitch front to back, pick up your loop, pull the loop through the stitch and chain 1 to close. And the chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. Now make another chain 1 to get a bit of space between your first and the next popcorn, which you're going to work into that same space here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull up your loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoop, whoop, pull through, chain 1. There are your 2 popcorns in between the previous 2 popcorns. Now skip that popcorn stitch here. Just make front post double crochets around the posts of your previous front post double crochets of round 5. So this is the repeat. I'm going to do this all around and I'm going to see you at the end of row 6. This is how your work should look like after the end of round number 6. I'm just going to slip stitch my last stitch to the first stitch, and then we can start with round number 7. For round number 7, chain 2, make 3 front post double crochets, okay, then you're going to repeat the same like last round, so make a popcorn in here, chain 1 and another popcorn, and then another 3 front post double crochets. Okay, so we're going to do this again the whole round. In the next round, in round 8, we're going to start the cabling. But for now, it's the same as in round 6. 3 front post double crochets, 2 popcorns with a chain 1 space in the middle, and another 3 front post double crochets. So let's do that. I'll see you at the end of round 7. I am at the end of row 7, and I'm going to slip stitch in my into my first stitch, not the chain 2 but the first stitch, to close the round. For round 8, I'm going to chain 2 again. Instead of working into these 3 stitches, I'm going to work into the 3 stitches before, and I'm going to make front post trebles in these. So yarn over twice and then go in around this stitch here, make a treble, front post treble, for the next one yarn over twice again, make another front post treble, yarn over twice again, and make another front post treble. So these stitches will lean into this direction. This is going to be our cable round. And I'm going to show you how it works. Just a note, once we have worked all around the round, you're going to finish this round by working cables into the around the first 3 stitches here, but you'll have to work behind the first 3 stitches you've just made. Okay? But let's get back to that once we are at this point. So right now we will have to skip these 3 stitches, and we are just going to make our popcorn, chain 1, popcorn into that chain 1 space. Chain 1 to close the popcorn, and chain 1 to create a chain 1 space, and another popcorn in here, now we have the 6 stitches here. We're not going to work in the next 3, but first we're going to skip these 3, work in these 3 stitches, and then we're going back and work in the skipped stitches. Okay? And we're going to make trebles. Yarn over twice, skip the 3 stitches, make a front post treble around the next stitch. Okay, so yarn over twice, make a front post treble around the next stitch, and the same with the next stitch. Now you see we've skipped these 3 stitches, we've worked into these instead, so our posts are leaning into that direction. Now we're going to work in front of the ones we just made, and we're going to front post treble into these posts here, around these stitches and posts. So yarn over twice, go back to the skipped stitches, take the first one and make a front post treble. Yarn over twice, back here, front post treble. yarn over twice, pick the last one here, make another front post treble. So this is how it looks like. The stitches we've worked in, or the crochet stitches we've worked in here, are leaning into that direction, and then we've worked in front of them, making front post trebles, and they're leaning into that direction. So now we can continue with our popcorns. So just go to your chain one space and make popcorn, chain one, popcorn. Okay, I'm right here at the end of round number 8. I've made my 2 popcorns into the chain one space, and now I have to work into these 3 stitches I've skipped right at the beginning of my round. To do that, yarn over twice. Now move the stitches which you've worked already into to the front to reveal the stitches there. Okay, make sure to work behind the 3 first stitches you've made. So hold your yarn on your hook with your thumb. Now you can go in there. I move my stitches which I've already worked to the front, and now I can just do the usual front post treble. Second one, yarn over twice. There is my second one. That's the third one made, and no, the second one made. The last one. Okay. So this will look a little bit awkward, but in the next round you will see that all will be fine again. Now your last stitches are behind your first 3 stitches. You still have to slip stitch to close the round. So 1, 2, 3. This here is your first stitch made. Go with your hook front to back, yarn over your yarn, your strand of yarn, pull through both loops. Okay, so this is round number 8. All right, so let's do round number 9. For round number 9, we're going to chain 2, and now we're going to do 3 front post double crochets. So we're going to pick up these stitches here which are in the front. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to make a popcorn, a chain 1 and a popcorn as we did before in that chain 1 space. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 popcorns and chain 1 space. And next we're going to pick up the stitches which we worked, which are here behind. So this might be a little bit tricky to find. Just poke around until you find them. Number 1 is kind of easy to see. So 1 double crochet, then there is the second double crochet and the third double crochet. And now we can work in the front double crochet stitches again. Front post, all front post double crochets. These as well, by the way. All front post double crochets. And now 2 popcorns with a chain 1 space in between. So this is the easy repeat, and as you can see, this twists our stitches around. The 3 stitches from here are now there, and the 3 stitches from here are now here on the right side. So let's do this the whole round, and then I will see you at the end of round number 9. So here I am at the end of row 9, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch I've made. For round 10, we're going to chain 2, and then we are going to make, and then we are basically going to repeat what we just did in row number 9. So just a memory, just a reminder. Front post double crochets around the stitches, skip the popcorns and work 2 popcorns and a chain 1 space in this chain 1 space. That's basically all there is to it to round number 10. I'll see you at the end of round number 10 for round number 11. I've just finished the last front post double crochet of round 10, and now I'm going to slip stitch into my first stitch for round number 11, chain 2, and instead of working into the next stitches, we're going to work in these 3 stitches first. So we're going to make 3 front post trebles, then we're going to skip these stitches, and then we continue with puff stitches in here. So it's another cabling round. Yarn over twice, go into your 3rd stitch from your hook, yarn over twice, and the next one, yarn over twice, and this one. Now we're going to skip these 3 stitches, and we're going to work into the chain 1 space between the popcorns. And we're going to make a popcorn, a chain 1 space, and a popcorn. Make 5 double crochets in the chain space, go with your hook through front to back, take your loop up, pull it through, chain 1 to close, chain 1 for the chain 1 space. Next, okay, we're going to skip these 3 stitches and we're going to work front post trebles around these 3. Yarn over twice, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th, or around the 4th. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going back into the 3 stitches which we've skipped before, and we're going to work in front of the stitches we've just made. So yarn over twice, go back into this one here, make your treble, front post treble, yarn over twice, go into the next one, make your front post treble, yarn over twice, and the next one. And now we're going to make the popcorn again. Popcorn, chain 1 space, popcorn. Welcome back. Obviously time has passed. It's now dark outside, but I hope the light will be fine enough or good enough so that we can continue a little bit with our cowl. I've just made my last 2 popcorns, and now I have to still work into these 3 stitches here which we've skipped at the beginning of a round. So yarn over twice, and I'm going in behind these 3 stitches I've previously made. Okay, so there we go, 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. So here we are, and I'm just going to close the round with a slip stitch into my first stitch of round 11. Next, so this is how it looks like. Next will be round 12. In round number 12, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to make 3 front post double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, almost lost there. 3. There you go. So 3 front post double crochets, and then we're going to do something different than before. Make a front post double crochet around the popcorn stitch. So yarn over, and then we're going to front post double crochet around the popcorn stitch. Next, we are going to make a popcorn in the chain 1 space, just 1. Okay, so 5 double crochets, now make sure that you don't pick up your popcorn at the stitch which you made around the popcorn stitch below, just 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So go through this one here, pick up your loop, pull through, chain 1 to close, And you don't need to chain again because we're finishing the lines of popcorns now. This is the last popcorn we make. Next we are going to yarn over to make a front post double crochet around the popcorn stitch again. And now just make front post double crochets around the 6 stitches which are next. You might have to wriggle them around a little so that you can actually reach the ones in the back here, behind the ones in the front, but it's fine, it's easy. Oop, what did I do there? So 6 front post double crochets, 5 and 6, and now we're going to repeat this all around. So a front post double crochet around the popcorn in the chain 1 space, a front post double crochet around the popcorn, and a front post double crochet around each of the 6 stitches. I will see you at the end of round number 12. I am at the end of row number 12 or round number 12. I'm going to make the last 3 front post double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and now I'm going to slip stitch into my first chain made. Remember, the chain 2 at the beginning doesn't count as a stitch. And that was round number 12. See how lovely these cables are looking. Okay, next is round number 13. And that's a very easy round. You start with chain 2 and then make a front post double crochet around all your stitches, including also a stitch around your popcorn. So it should be 117 stitches. I'm going to see you at the end of round 13. Here we are at the end of round number 13. As always, close the round with a slip stitch. Now in the next round we are going to decrease the stitches. So chain 2, instead of working in the next stitches, go back 3 stitches to the right, 1, 2, 3, front post trebles, 3 of them. So yarn over twice and make 3 front post trebles. 1, 2, 3. Skip the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. So I've got the stitch right from the front post popcorn around thingy. So I've got these 3 stitches and their front post double crochets 3 together. So yarn over, go around the first of these 3, only pull once through, the same in the next, 3 loops on hook, and the next 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all of the loops. Okay? Then you're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and we're going to make our 3 front post trebles. 1, 2, 3. And next we are going to work in the 3 stitches, or around the 3 stitches which we've skipped. 1, 2, and 3. And again, make 3 double crochets together. 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And we are going to repeat this pattern, and I'm going to see you at the end of round number 14. Here we are at the end of round number 14. I just have to work my last 3 front post trebles in these 3 stitches which I skipped at the beginning of a row. So I'm going to do that quickly, and then we can go on to row number 15. And now to finish, slip stitch in the first stitch. This was round number 14. Now we're going to make round number 15. Chain 2, front post double crochet 3 times. So this is your first one. 1, 2, 3. Now here is the decrease stitch from the previous round. We're just going to skip it, and we're going to continue making front post double crochets around the next stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip that decrease stitch and move on to make your 6 front post double crochets. Okay, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to see you at the end of round number 15. And at the end of round number 15 you should have 78 stitches. I'm at the end of round 15. I'm just going to slip stitch into my first stitch made, and without the popcorns the rounds will be much faster now. So round number 16, chain 2 and front post double crochet all around, which equals to 78 stitches, and round 17 is exactly the same. Chain 2, front post double crochet around 78 stitches. So I'm not going to show you round 16 and 17, but I'm going to come back to you for round number 18 on another day. I will wait for a bit of better light. So I'll see you in a moment.